Hey guys, and welcome back to another JSpizzle Crypto YouTube video. Today we have Isaac Crypto with us, and we mainly talk on the channel about DeFi, meme coins, and we go into Bitcoin a little bit on the short term. But today, Isaac is going to lead us through Bitcoin, where we've been the past few months, where we are right now, and where he thinks that we will be going over the next 1 to 3 months. So before we start, how are you doing, Isaac?
Yeah, not too bad. I think, like you said, we're at a very pivotal point in the chart, like specifically for Bitcoin and also the broader crypto market. But I've got some controversial, I wouldn't say controversial takes, but the market's very mixed right now. You have people saying the bottom's in, this is the formation for the bottom, and we've seen the distribution, and we have others saying calling for lower. Okay, so it's split up into two main camps, and I'm gonna be telling you what I'm expecting based on the data and based off what I'm seeing structurally in the chart. Okay. So
Okay.
I'll just get straight into it. So I think the first key point is to just zoom out and to see where we've essentially come from, right? So if we take everything off the chart, we can see that we're obviously in a downtrend, right? So this was essentially the 6th of October around this top here, which hit 126 Bitcoin. And since then, we've continually been in downward trending market structure, as you can see here. Now, the question is, people are saying, is this going to be the point where things start to change, the market structure shifts, or is this the pivot where things start to probably just roll over and go into the next low? Now, I'm actually siding with this outcome as being the most favorable, personally. Now, I do believe we can definitely have a pump for sure, maybe into somewhere around this region, as we are at a level of support, which I'll get into in a second. But overall, I don't believe we've bottomed just yet. Now, the thing about that is, if you're a trader, you can still make money even if you're not exactly right, in the sense that you mark out levels and you take trades based on levels. Like yesterday, for example, this was a very, very strong level of support that I marked out, especially the channel, my channel, Isaac Crypto. The reason being is because of the fact that if you zoom out over here, we had a large amount of levels here. There was a weekly level that was exactly this low, but I've removed it. We also had a Fibonacci level coming into this low, and we also had a value area low in this region. So basically, it's a region of interest, okay? Now, I was very skeptical of this level because of the fact that when we got there, price was just doing this like sideways movement. All right, getting straight back to it. So basically, when we hit this level, price was doing this very consolidative price action. And one of the key things I noted was the fact that we had a lot of longs entering this point. And usually when you have a lot of longs enter at a low, I'm very worried that because of the simple fact that when you're there, when you give up my tool for the cresting tool, or what this tool could do that too, you're basically building this liquidity at this low side because of the fact that you have all these longs. And it's very likely you're going to stop them out, which is what happened. And this ridge low saw a really big flush of open interest decreasing and longs closing, which was then the entry trigger for me to enter a long trade, which I did. And I ended up selling premature on the backdrop of us hitting the POC, which was here. And obviously, if I held it, it would have been a much better. But, that's how you can, like, what I'm trying to say there is, even if your thesis isn't correct, you can still make money based on level to level trading. But back to where I was going, specifically, I think if we put on our anchored view apps, we can see what we've come from. We have rejected down to here. We've had a few taps at this high. So 1, 2, 3, can't get above it. And if you put it on here, we can see that we've failed one. And then the next one might come in with a little stab up here. And I think that's going to be very pivotal because that's also going to tie in pretty nicely with the value area high. And right now we actually rejected off the POC. Okay, so it's very likely that I just don't see us breaking this high because of the fact that this is also a bear flag. So
Okay, right.
it's very bearish. So
So you think that we're going to go down more likely than we are to go up. So where would you say that you see us in 3 months from now?
3 months from now, I would really love to be seeing $55,000, take out these lows, and then start to form another accumulation pattern here. I would like to see a different pattern than this, though. I don't want to see this. I would probably want to see something that looks like this, and then it sort of drags out, and then you have some sort of bump and run pattern, and it moves up. So there's different pattern styles. You can also just see like these ones are all the same. Boom, boom. Instead of doing that, come down and then sort of form a floor, then drop, and then you start to and then you have a market structure shift, and then from there things change. Okay, that's what I'd be expecting.
So do you think that we will still be in those price levels around 50K in 3 months from now, or do you think that the worst will have been seen already and we'll start to pump in 3 months from now?
I think it's very dependent on the world right now, all the events that are taking place. So if that keeps extending longer, like the oil and energy problems, then obviously that will probably extend everything. But I think I'm looking at it from the perspective rather than timing, more so levels. So if when we get there, I think it's a really good point. Even if things escalate in the world, I think like just structurally, you got to realize like how many people are like the holders from back then that they're very seasoned, and where's their price pivot pain points. That's something I'm thinking about too. So I'm not gonna be too worried. For example, I'm just really gonna be looking to take out this low. Something in this box would be looking for a low. Worst case, when we had these sort of dumps, right? The 10-10 event, I think was it this? Actually, this one here was the 10-10. You could definitely have a wick that stabs very quickly and then bounces back up. I don't really count that as like a thing. If it's literally gonna do a 10-10, which is basically up, down, up, basically like that, I don't really count that as like. I just count that as manipulation. So we could have a manipulation way lower for sure, but like as a base case, I'd be expecting anything in this region for my low point to be looking at for sure.
Okay, cool. So in the short term, we trade sideways or go down, but over the next 3 months,
Short term,
we'll hit.
I've been trading this short term. Like even yesterday, I had my expectations. I was looking at this level as a level to short, which was very nice. That was yesterday's video actually. And then we're basically forming. Okay, well, what happened was we're basically back in the range now. So you can see we're back in the POC. And I never. There's like the way I trade is I never like to take trades when the level's been washed. Unless I start to see more confirmation of like, let's say this level keeps ranging for a bit and I start to see very bullish order flow, then I'll take a trade. But right now, I'm not too fussed on taking a trade because the levels have been tapped multiple times. We're just in the mix of it all.
Right.
But when we form this, I'm all in. Like I'll take a trade here because I know what's happening on the order flow and I see it. And I know that I have an edge because number one, the edge is patience. Number two, it's marking out the correct things and knowing when to take it. That's the edge. Now, the edge is just sort of stuffing around and waiting, right? So there's no real edge here. The edge can form if we range longer and there's more information that's presented to us in the sense that the order flow is suggesting the market's being propped up by a lot of big whales. But that's the only edge you can get in ranges, I feel. But nonetheless, we are at a low in the chart. We are at a support, so I would be looking for a long if I had to look for a trade. But right now, I don't feel like strongly convicted to do anything just yet. But I did yesterday. But unfortunately I did close it too early because I was at work and I didn't have access to the market order flow. But I saw the tank down. I saw the wick back up, and I'll show you what it looked like.
Okay.
And this is textbook pattern actually. You basically come into the low and then you immediately thrust back up, and on the backdrop of this being a large open interest decrease, so a lot of longs getting stopped out. And then, good, awesome recipe for a push up. So I hope that makes sense.
Alrighty, guys. If you guys like to leverage trade Bitcoin, Isaac Crypto is a professional at it. This is what he does, where over here we mainly do meme coins. You can also leverage trade on btcc.com. But at the end of every JSpizzle Crypto YouTube video, we do a secret word where only the people who watch till the end will know what it is, and you comment it at the comments. But we will also be doing a collab over on his channel, and so and it should be the suggested video. Click on that video and let's go over to Isaac Crypto's channel. Subscribe, like, and comment JSpizzle Crypto if you watch to the end of this video, so he knows where you guys came from. But Isaac Crypto, thank you so much for coming on the channel today, and I hope to have you back real soon.
No worries, really enjoyed it. I hope all the Bitcoin expectations fall through, and we get some juicy buying opportunities for sure.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, until next time, God bless you guys. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.